So anyway, it's the Shield and Jericho versus the Wyatts, and this starts off with Dean versus Luke. Naturally, Luke's a worthless piece of shit, so Dean beats the fuck out of him for a while. Basically, it's the usual faces dominate. Then Braun Strowman comes in after Wyatt bails out, and naturally, Braun Strowman just dominates all three of them. And as me and Zoe comment on, they could win to just keep Braun Strowman in all match. They instantly tag Braun Strowman out for Bray Wyatt because what the hell's the logic? So then the match goes on as usual, no real spots to speak of, until Luke Harper's pathetic ass is taken out due to a hot... Wait, no, this is before the hot tag. Yeah, before the hot tag, Jericho gets tagged in to face Bray Wyatt, and Jericho's knocking Bray Wyatt around. He takes Wyatt down, gets Wyatt into the walls of Jericho. Wyatt's crawling and screeching and trying his hardest to stay in there, only for Luke Harper, unsurprisingly, to knock Jericho's ass off of him. Luke Harper gets back on the rope. Jericho tags in Reigns, and Bray tags in, stupidly enough, Luke Harper. Literally most worthless member of his family, while Braun Strowman was sitting right next to him. But whatever, logic was never WWE's strong point. So with that, Luke gets his ass kicked, as per usual. But he does manage to tag in Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman does his dominant thing. All of a sudden, Superman punch! Oh god, Braun Strowman's wobbling. He's wobbling. Could it be? Superman punch! Oh god, could it be? Is Braun Strowman gonna go down? David Ambrose is up top! Elbow drop! Braun Strowman is down! Oh my god! The stars are lying! Roman Reigns is going to Superman his way out of this shit! It's Super Cena time! Spear! Oh my god! Roman's getting hyped up! Roman set for another spear! Jericho is creeping in the corner with literally the most suspicious look ever! Making shit as obvious as all hell! Roman's hyped up! Roman's gonna spear him! Roman's gonna tag! Jericho gets a blind tag in, goes for the lion salt. 1, 2, whoop! Jericho's literally just launched into the fucking air by Braun Strowman. While Roman Reigns is standing in awe at the fact that Jericho's such a dumbass, Bray Wyatt comes behind him, grabs Roman, and launches him into the barricade. At this point, it's up to Jericho to take on the black lamb, sheep, whatever. So Jericho starts punching, and Jericho goes for his patented code breaker, only for Braun Strowman to catch him, power him up into his arms, and get him in position for whatever the fuck Braun Strowman's finisher is called. And then with Jericho laid out, Braun Strowman hoists him up and punches Jericho into that sleeper-like maneuver. As Jericho struggles to stay in there and struggles, and lasts a hell of a lot longer than Dean and Roman ever have, to be honest. But in the end, with all the fans chanting his name, Jericho just cannot hold in, and Jericho faints. The winner, the Wyatts. With the Wyatts gone, and the announce team saying how stupid Jericho was to tag himself in, Dean and Roman come in, and they stare at Jericho like, really, man? Really? Jericho then gets up, and he walks past Dean and Roman, bumping Dean's shoulder as he leaves. And that's that. According to Zoe, at this point, she found 2 interesting things on social media. One of which was somebody commenting that they wanted Dean versus Jericho. And as much as I hate to admit it, that's probably going to happen. Because if they want to push Roman Reigns, they're going to have Roman Reigns beat the odds on his own. Not to mention, Jericho did shove Dean. And Dean is the one that suggested they call up Jericho, so it makes sense. Those two are going to be heated. And she also found a picture of Nikki Bella, quote-unquote, crying on Instagram. So essentially, just as WWE is accepted social media, I guess anytime I bring Zoe with me, I'm going to have my own little social media bird twittering into my ear as I watch the pay-per-view. Anyway, moving on. It's time. It's Rollins' time. Rollins now has his 2 matches in a row to end off the night. Match number 1 is with John Cena. And this match is long, so fuck order. Here are the highlights of the match. Rollins, like he does in every big match of Cena, jumps out of an AA and kicks Cena in the face. What a surprise. Rollins actually pulls off an indie maneuver, a super suplex, into a roll-through suplex. Other highlights. Cena guillotine leg drops out the blonde out of Seth Rollins' hair. Seth Rollins dressed up as the White Power Ranger again. That reminds me, most of the blonde in Seth Rollins' hair is actually gone for some reason. Were there any more highlights to that match? Oh, Cena actually reversals Seth Rollins' corner powerbomb into a corner Hurricane Rana. And Seth tried to steal Cena's 5-knuckle shuffle. It didn't turn out well for him. And then as Cena tried to do a 5-knuckle shuffle, he got kicked in the face. And then as he went for it again, he got kicked in the face again, only for him to catch Seth Rollins' foot and literally flip Seth Rollins up to his feet. But ultimately, in the end, Cena won because Cena. He AA'd Seth Rollins. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Cena is the United States Champion again. With this, Seth Rollins rolls out the ring. He's tired. He's exhausted. But he has one more match for the night. Seth is not good with this shit. He grabs the WWE Championship, and he starts to walk out, only for Cena to cut him off. Cena says, No. You signed up for this. You're the champion. Go defend it. And Seth Rollins is like, no, fuck you. He shoves Cena out the way and starts walking out, only for Cena to turn him around, hoist him up onto his shoulder, and AA him onto the ramp. With that, Cena tosses Rollins back into the ring, and it's time for Sting. Sting comes out, and not surprisingly, Sting dominates, beating the holy fuck out of Rollins, tossing Rollins around like a rag doll. It's ridiculous how many times Seth Rollins has ended up outside of the ring. Sting then decides to get, well, kind of stupid, and he pulls Seth Rollins up onto the announce table, the regular one, not the Spanish one. I'm not entirely sure what it is that Sting planned on doing, but whatever he planned on doing didn't happen because Seth Rollins would shove Sting, and even when it wasn't the target, the Spanish announce table still finds itself smashed. Poor Spanish announce table. Poor K, WWE, poor K. Anyway, with Sting now through the Spanish announce table, Seth Rollins stumbles over to the corner, he grabs his belt, and he starts to walk off. I say starts to, because Seth stops, he turns around, and he goes back. He's going to punish Sting. He lifts Sting up, and he slams Sting down onto the announce table. He lifts Sting up again, tosses him into the ring, goes in after him. 1, 2, kick out. With Sting kicking out once again, Seth Rollins gets a little bit frustrated. He pulls the Sting up. It's time to finish him. It's time to go for the pedigree. But Sting hoists him up and, back body drops him in the counter. With Seth Rollins down, Sting grabs his legs, pulls him over, Scorpion Deathlock. Seth Rollins looks to be in desperate strength. He's screaming in pain as he tries to crawl for the ropes. He's crawling, he might just tap, but being the champion he is, he grabs the rope. Sting gets up, grabs him by his legs again, in an attempt to pull him out, but Seth keeps a tight grip on the rope. Sting decides, fine, if you're going to keep holding on to it. He launches Seth Rollins up in the air in hopes of sliding him down on his back. But Seth flips out of it, and Pele kick, I believe that's what it's called, Pele kicks Sting in the skull. As Sting drops down, Seth Rollins gets up, goes for the pedigree again, only for Sting to trip him out through his legs. Go for the Scorpion Deathlock once more. But this time, as Sting flips Seth Rollins over, Seth manages to flip himself back over, grabs Sting, and pulls him into a small package. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins manages to keep his title. Seth is happy now. I mean, he's gone through 2 brutal matches and still manages to win. How much better could this possibly be for him? And naturally, Sheamus' music hits. Out comes a Celtic warrior, ready for his time in the sun. He goes right in there, and a bro kicks Seth Rollins' head straight off his shoulders. He then turned in his money in the bank. I'm cashing it in. And naturally, something has to fuck it up because money in the bank cash-ins never go as expected when they're announced. So, out comes Kane. Sheamus crawls out the ring, and Kane comes in. It's payback time. Kane chokestabs Seth Rollins to hell. Sheamus, being the idiot he is, comes in and tells Kane, "Do it again! Do it again! I'll cash in on him! Do it again!" Kane looks at Seth Rollins, thinks about it, and because logic isn't his strong suit, and making Seth Rollins lose the championship would not be suitable punishment for Seth Rollins, Kane chokeslams Sheamus for stopping the cash-in. What a shock. Then, Kane signals to finish it. Hoists Seth Rollins up, and tombstone piledrivers him in the middle of the ring. Kane now stands in the ring over 2 unconscious bodies as he brings up this pyro, looking dominant as ever. And that was the end of the Night of Champions pay-per-view. My thoughts? Some matches were The Divas match and the 2 Seth Rollins matches were awesome, but everything else sucked. I mean, I guess the Divas versus Dudley Boys didn't suck. It was a decent match, but that was it. It was just decent. Neville and the Lucha Dragons versus the Ascension Stardust was nothing to write home about, really. And Owens versus Ryback was boring as well. Alright, and I guess Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev was literally so bad I couldn't even remember the goddamn match. I'm just kidding. Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev was not that bad. I guess it was just forgettable. Basically, the match was pretty evenly matched, and it ended with Summer Rae tossing her shoe in an attempt at the referee, because the referee was saying she was out of there for causing a distraction. But the shoe hit Rusev, and then Dolph Ziggler hits the zigzag, 1, 2, 3, Ziggler wins. Ziggler kisses Summer's hand, and then walks away. There we go. So, yeah, that match was decent, but clearly was forgettable. Really, the Divas match and the Seth Rollins matches were the big parts of this. Everything else was just bleh. But hey, at least Kevin Owens is Intercontinental Champion now. That's a good thing. I want him to be champion. Not big on how he won it, but whatever. Overall, I give this pay-per-view a 7.5, because only 3 of the matches were all that great, to be honest. The others were just Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Deuces, YouTube.